Today, we celebrate the inquisitive minds that question the norms of our times, challenges conventions, and boldly push boundaries to discover new possibilities. To truly change the present, let's embody the essence of this moment. Hello, everyone. I'm Nikita Agrawal, and I'll be your host for this elimination round. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all our wonderful innovators for this elimination round of TUP 9.2. So get ready with your ideas for a fierce battle of brains because the winners of today will move forward to our regional finale of the most prestigious B school competition in the country, the Ultimate Pitch Season 9. So let's get started. At Reliance, we are all about embracing fresh ideas and fostering innovation. It's in our DNA, which is subsequently reflected in each of our businesses and social initiatives. The ultimate pitch was born out of this exact spirit. It is the platform for curious and innovative minds who want to break away and showcase their next big idea to the world. This is TUP's ninth season, and let me tell you, it has been a journey like none other. We flagged off the competition physically in the top 15 B schools across the country. At each of these institutes, we were met with enthralling audiences. The insightful sessions led by our inspiring leaders were overtly captivating. But that was only the beginning. We then reached thousands of you through digital platforms and virtual events, making this contest a pan India celebration of ideas and innovations. Now, with an absolute delight, I would want to show you all a sneak peek into our campus launches and our launch premiere with this video. Wow, what a mesmerizing response TUP has had this year. We had over 19,000 registrations, more than 1,500 idea submissions, and we now move into the elimination rounds. We thank you all for making it such a memorable launch. TUP Season 9 definitely kicked off with a bang. Enthusiastic innovators from all over the country registered to battle for the grand prize. Each one of the ideas submitted was unique, ambitious, and had a genuine intent for solving critical real world problems. Our evaluators worked round the clock to make sure that none of the submissions went unnoticed and shortlisted those ideas that had an extra edge over the others. Those exceptional teams with remarkable ideas have qualified for the elimination round of this ultimate competition. A big congratulations to the top 90 teams who have made it to the elimination rounds. Kudos to all of you. Let's now do a quick rundown of what's expected to happen. I shall be calling out the team names. We will play their 3-minute video on screen. Then the teams will get 3 minutes to pitch their idea to the jury. This will be followed by a quick 4-minute Q&A round. We request the team to keep an eye on the timer. Also, post each team's presentation, we will have the jury take a minute to score the teams individually before we move to the next team. You will be judged on 5 parameters. Your idea needs to be futuristic, practical, Scalable, should challenge the conventional wisdom and have a strong business case. Now, for the victors, the national winners get a grand prize. We are also pleased to inform you that we have other awards too. The elimination round winners and runners up receive 50,000 and 25,000 cash prize respectively, along with TUP merchandise. The national finalists get mentored by our CXOs and entrepreneurs of Reliance owned startups, and all our national finalists will be awarded a pre placement interview opportunity with Reliance. So get up and give it your best, guys. But wait, what's a competition without a jury? We have some of the top minds of Reliance with us today. They will be closely assessing your presentations, evaluating your ideas, and will provide their inputs at the end of your presentations. It gives me immense pleasure to announce the jury of this elimination round. Mr. Ravinder Singh, the CEO of Distributed Renewable Energy, and Mr. Anish Dolakia, the head HR of our Dahej Manufacturing Division. Welcome, sirs, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, would you like to address the students?
I think it's a wonderful opportunity. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to catch up with what the youngsters are thinking. We are a little bit cut off from there, and I think we look forward to having a very invigorating and engaging presentations, and learning about what ideas they have. So I think it's as much a learning and a journey for us as it is for the teams. That's what I would say.
Absolutely, sir. Anish, sir, would you like to say something?
Yeah, Nikita. So thank you everyone for joining in, and kudos to all of you to make it to this round. In fact, personally, as Ravinder rightly said, it's going to be a learning experience both ways. But in Reliance, in the manufacturing space where I come from, we get youngsters to work with, who have a lot of passion. And me personally has that passion to kind of engage with the youngsters and continue the learning journey and see what we can offer to them, and get the best out of each one of us. So it's going to be a great time spent with all the teams, and learning from you and from the jury. So all the very best to all of you. Thank you, Nikita.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure all of us will take something away from the session today and will have some learning with us at the end. So let's get started. I would like to call upon the very first team, Tech Alpha, from Indian School of Business.
So hello everyone, my name is Rushabh Sovitkar and I am from Indian School of Business. I am here to present my idea of FinChat where investing is made social. So there are total 11 crore demat accounts in India, out of which 3 crore demat accounts have been opened in just last 12 months. Now, most of these 3 crore new demat accounts are the first time investors. Now, these first time investors want to invest in the stock market, but there is no one to handle them. And that is why they fear to get into the stock market. There are various obstacles, faced by them. But we have seen social media is becoming the boon. In just last 12 months, there are 800 million views on finance related YouTube channels. There are various groups on public forums, private groups on WhatsApp, Telegram, etc. And when we asked them how do they invest, so we found out that only 12% people invest on their own, while 82% people either depend on their friends and family, experts, blogs, YouTube, etc. We also found out what are their users' pain points. So these are discovery interest, knowledge and info, and habit formation. Now, to help them to start their own journey, we have come up with this FinChat app, where you can, by clicking on this plus icon, you can create a group with your friends and all of your family members. Now, through these, so these are various groups that you can form. By clicking on the Discover tab, you can see various expert-led groups which you have followed. And if you want to see details about any particular group, you can go inside it. You can see how many followers are there, what is the accuracy of this expert, and you can also opt for any courses in terms of technical analysis, fundamental analysis that you want to learn about investing. You can opt for premium subscriptions, which are weekly, monthly, yearly, as per your convenience, and you can join these groups. These are the new expert groups that has just joined the platform. These are the public rooms which you can access anytime. And finally, the fourth tab where you can have your stock specific or sector specific stocks. If you want any information about any particular stock, you can come here. On the market tab, it's a live dashboard where you can see your Nifty, Sensex, where is it going, your watch list stocks, and the top mover stock gainers. And in the news tab, you will see all the relevant articles about the stocks that you are investing. Now, this is the most unique feature of our app. You can actually invest while you are chatting. So by clicking on the chart, you can see where the stock is going. And by clicking on the bulb, within just one click, you can submit your trade and buy that stock. So this is very, very simple for first time investors. Now you'll be able to see all the stocks that you have traded in that particular day. If you don't understand any term, just click on it and it will give you the descriptions. So by this, this is a very unique app where we are trying to help the new age investors of our India and make them financial to achieve them financial freedom. In terms of financials, in the first year, the costs are about 26 lakhs and the revenue model revolves around the commission based model and finally the percentage of AUM that we're going to take. So this is a positive NPU project with IRR of around 29%. I believe that the future of investing is social, collaborative, and transparent. And thank you so much. This is my idea. So hi juries, my name is Rishabh Sovitkar and I am from Indian School of Business. So as you have seen the demo, the problem statement lies in the, for the new age investors, it's difficult to invest in the stock market because there is no one to handhold them and there is no integrated platform. But the existing platforms are not best suited for the financial discussions because trust is the issue. You cannot invest based on unsolicited, advices. There is no way to bring contextual info about a particular stock. The journey management is also an issue because you have to haggle over multiple platforms to get a contextual info about one particular stock. There is a lot of noise on the search platforms such as Google. You get millions of results. So that's why we have come up with this special platform for new age investors. Now, if you compare with right now with the social platforms that are available, you don't get one-click investing market data, like Sensex, Nifty, charts in all of these platforms such as Telegram, YouTube, WhatsApp, etc. But FinChat offers that at once. Now, what is our unique feature? First one is the expert advice. These experts will be SEBI registered experts. Then there is in-chat trading ideas. Then third is the simplest user interface. So the new, even the first time investor can learn and invest on our platform. Then this is a one-stop solution. In terms of competitors, we have Zerodha, Grow, Upstock, Motilal Oswal, and Shere Khan. So what is our go-to-market strategy? So we're gonna focus on groups and that to expert-led groups initially, and we are gonna focus on continuous investments and intraday. Now this cohort is large, engaging, and product sizable. In terms of monetization avenues, in the first phase we are going to go for creator tool, which wherein we're going to take commissions on offerings from the experts on the premium groups, courses, live trading, etc. The second phase we are going to go for distribution model where we're going to take percentage of AUM on financial products such as mutual funds, digigold, etc. And in the final phase we're going to manufacture our own financial products and launch a brokerage in-house firm. There is a large headroom for India since right now we just have 5% people who invest in stock market as compared to China 12.7 and 55% in US. Our value proposition for experts is customer acquisition. It's a SaaS tool, so they can also analyze the users, and they can also earn higher revenues. For users, it's a one-stop solution for everything. In terms of financials, we assume 20% growth annually. This is a positive NPV project with IRR of around 29%. I feel that future of investing is social, and we are trying to create a social trading platform. Thank you so much. I'm open for questions now.
Well, thank you, Team Alpha. But I'm not really convinced as to how are you different than the other players which are there in the marketplace. Now, there are two sets of people who are out there in the marketplace. One is the organized sector. The organized sector is basically, banks and all of these people who are offering these portfolio management services in a way, right? And what you're doing in a way, well, you can always argue that, yours much more focused, but in a way, it's a portfolio management service where you're asking the people to invest. And then you have these independent experts. Well, from an expert's point of view, I can understand that possibly using the digital tools, you are able to reach out to a larger pool of customers from their perspective, experts. Otherwise, why would experts get associated with you? I can understand that. But I still don't understand that, and like Dale Carnegie always says, fine, you made a statement, but what is there to back up? What
Sure.
is that, what they call as the credibility? What is your credibility? You have no track record. How do you get off the ground?
Right.
I'm not seeing any ideas or thoughts around that. You are straight away saying, oh, well, I'm going to charge a commission, then I'm going to move under asset to under management, then I will open my own trading and brokerage firms. That's a journey which all conventional firms have done. NJ Stock Invest, others, they've all gone through the same journey, right? So how are you different, other than
Sure.
saying, okay, I will do it on social platforms, whereas the others did it the physical way? So not really understood that.
Sure. So, in terms of experts, sir, so first of all, I am targeting only the new age investors who are investing for the very first time in their life. Then, for these new age investors, getting onto a platform, let's say, for example, Zerodha, even creating a demat account needs help. Whereas my platform is very simple to use. So, that's a unique proposition that I have. Second thing is around experts. Now, these experts are all SEBI registered experts and they have their own YouTube channels where they have more than millions of followers. So, we're going to only onboard people who have actually worked in the trading market. They have certain amount of experience so that, and they give solicited advice. We are going to do a thorough check, and that's how the credibility will be established, and they're going to only pull up the customers from their YouTube channels to our platform. In terms of Zerodha or Upstock also, more than 15% of their users come from the YouTube channel exports. So that is the model that we're going to use here, and we are going to also offer courses where people can come and learn. So this is kept in a mind that only for the new age investors as of now. After the network effect, when a lot of users will come and a lot of experts will also be there, there will be a network effect and more people will start joining who are little matured in this journey. But for a first time investor, it's little difficult to get on any other platforms. So this is our unique proposition.
Okay, I hear you. Anish.
Yeah, I think the point which I just want to take that point forward and say that when you talk about first-time investors, when you talk about people who don't, whom we do not reach out, for opening a demat account and are not into stocks, you give some numbers about where is our country and which are the related countries. So, in this entire proposition, how do you reach out to people? And I didn't see that kind of a force which a business model is good, but how the people would start understanding and responding to your business model is something which I thought maybe you can throw some light on that if I missed the point there.
Yeah, sure, sir, definitely. So basically, I'm going to reach out to people through social media because my target audience is little young and they are on social media throughout the day. And there are 800 million views on finance related channels on YouTube in just last 12 months. So out of total 11 crore demat accounts in just last 12 months, 3 crore new demat accounts have been opened, and these are all new age investors. So the product is made, for them. And through these YouTube channels, my experts will advise them to come on my platform because they're gonna earn a lot through offering their courses and their portfolio, offerings. So that is how the monetization will happen.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, juries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Tech Alpha. That was an extremely insightful presentation and a brilliant take on how we can connect socially to discuss our financial. Um, I would like to give 1 minute to the jury to rate the team. Moving on, we are now ready for our next team. I'd like to call upon Team Dudkula D25 from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, New Delhi.
We are Team D25 from the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. India currently ranks 148 internationally when it comes to crime against women, which is only increasing year after year. The main reason for this in focus is underreporting of crime by women. As per the NFHS report in 2021 alone, the unreported rate of rape or other sexual assault cases in India stood at a staggering 99%. Underreporting of crimes at public spaces can take a lot of ways. There are some solutions in form of government support as well as police vans as well as state commissions for women, but we do not have a single aggregator or a one-stop solution. The problem we're trying to solve is that there are no safety resources and tools available for women at critical times, and this is hindering their access to defend themselves. We introduce you today to a new revolutionary product aimed at enhancing the safety and well-being of women everywhere in India, with the objective to empower women with knowledge, tools, and features required to navigate the world with confidence. I looked at PowerShield app, and you'll see there are a lot of features integrated into it for planning their routes, for finding assistance when needed, and for finding nearby help, as well as sending tracking requests to nearby people that are willing to help, in addition to self audits that they can take themselves. The implementation of the Kavach Power Shield app is going to be phase-wise rollout. The first phase will include data gathering and analysis from various sources to develop a prototype, which will then be implemented first in major cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, etc. We then collect feedback from the clients to make it better. Next phase of implementation for Kavach is the expansion phase. Here we expand the reach of the app to remote areas like Tier 2, Tier 3 regions. We also collaborate with CSOs and startups which are already engaged in developing digital tools for the urban well-being. We also expand the platform as an aggregator and an online B2B marketplace, connecting security service providers and clients to provide on-demand special security services, etc. This premiumization helps in the monetization of the app. The next implementation phase for Kavach is phase 3, wherein we enter B2G space. Here we let women post feedback and also publish stable regional safety scores by the state bodies, etc. We also incentivize good performances through awards, rewards, and recognitions. Alongside, we also let periodic safety audits take place by the end consumers. This happens through a built-in quick audit feature. This gives a transparent view of the state bodies as well as the consumers on different regions. The last phase of implementation for the Kavach app is turning it into a security super app. Here, this is an aggregator now for all the security services, government schemes, and programs under a single app that women can make the best use of. We also categorize them according to the beneficiaries or purposes like services specific to police or legal, women and children, skill development, health and wellness, etc. Precedence can always be taken from apps like Women in My Government. Now we have India's first unified super app for e-suraksha of women. Throughout the implementation of Kavach app, we have certain impact metrics in place to evaluate performance both short term and long term. We aim to bring together all stakeholders, the women, government, and security service providers to create a feasible solution in terms of social political desirability and scale implementability to create a win win condition for all stakeholders involved. Thank you.
So our so our idea is the Kavach Power Shield app. We are trying to solve the problem of crime against women and how underrated and under operated it is. And we have come up with the Super Shield app so that it is advantageous for women for their own self defense, as well as we make a revenue out of it by making it long term viable. So the objective, as we have been already shared, one mock-up of this particular Cover Shield app shows all the features involved. The various features that are involved in the Power Shield app is basically trying to be an aggregator as well as a service provider. So there are certain safety scores that we give for various areas, as well as there are all the emergency contact services, all the live geotagging locations of the special women security services that are offered by the government, as well as their own auditing and scoring ability for a score based on their personal experience is also included in the app. Now, how we try to implement this phase after phase, we do not go into big bang model all at once. We're going to take it first from B2C and then to B2B and then overall to B2G. In the B2C phase, what we do is we have a specialized idea of using a Google Street View like vehicle model, which would give us a pilot implementation phase help by scanning the city areas, giving us various codes on which we develop the safety scores time wise, how it is in the evening and how it is in the night as well. So once we are through the data gatheration, we take it to phase 1 where we develop the prototype and just launch in the tier 1 cities. Once we launch it in tier 1 cities, we get the feedback properly from the women that who have used, and we put it together to now take it to phase 2. In phase 2, we take it to places which are not just tier 1 but tier 2, tier 3. Although the travel of women is much extensive in tier 1, in tier 2, tier 3 the crime rate is also very high. Now in the phase 2, we also act as an aggregator. This is where we can take it to B2B, where we can take it to a next level. People of various security service providers can also get in touch with organizations to provide security for their women employees who just not travel in the night but also travel states across. In phase 3, we take it to the B2G phase. Here, because we have already crossed the B2C and B2B phases, we are now going to talk to the government and also help them set up the better scoring guidelines. Now, when we get the information from the government as well as we let the consumers audit on their own, we get a transparent view of the safety scores as well as the other features that are involved in this. The financials will be taken care of by Ankur.
Moving to the last slide, that is the financials, we have taken into account several revenue sources, which would be through subscription fees, consulting and training fees from the government. We can also look for the revenue from upscaling and cross-selling opportunities, plus the partnership opportunity with the security service providers and advertisement revenues. The cost components are also given here. The cost of hosting digital tools, office rent, and computer software and other components are given. The net present value that we are trying to achieve is 16,650 to buy the year. Okay, and the market size that is given here is total addressable market is of 275 thousand crores. Then the serviceable obtainable market is 35,000 for the digital tools focusing on the women empowerment. So these is our solutions, and these are our stakeholders in terms of business, government, and security service providers. Thank you.
Well, thank you. It's a very interesting and a novel idea. I quite like that. But I'm I have questions. You said that you will start with the B2C phase, and what you are doing is, from whatever your video was not very clear. So, I'm just latching on to what you folks said during your pitches. Okay, so pardon me if there's something I missed in your video, because your video quality was so poor I couldn't hear anything. And so my question is that, okay, I understand in the B2C phase, you would basically have data which will tell you that from this time to this time, this zone is potentially dangerous, so avoid it. And then B2C, then you will latch on to corporates. Most large corporates would have their own such systems, like Reliance has one. Okay, but maybe I'm assuming, and that was something which was missing in your pitch, that you are talking about mid-sized to SME firms, who are taking care of their lady employees. Okay, and B2G, I understand. Yes, yes. Once the mass acceptance is there, it would happen. So, so tell me, in B2C phase, what kind of fees do you intend charging?
Sir,
Have
in
you
our
thought of
B2C
that?
phase, yes, sir. So in our B2C phase, our model is going to be a freemium model. So there's going to be a free version of this app wherein women can just use it to get the nearby scores, plan their safety routes, and maybe able to convey messages using SOC options, vagera. But only through premium features. When we are talking about a freemium model, they get access to exclusive data. Like they can also get access to these geotagged locations offline without the actual internet connection, through satellite connection as well. That is how our model works in B2C. And one source of our revenue in B2C model is that we tend to market not pushingly but through pull marketing. We cooperate with some cross-selling platforms. So there are some tools, some brands which are building specifically for women's safety and defense. They could be selling coaching sessions, they could be selling a lot of safety tools for women. These we let them allow to sell on our platform so that there is cross-selling as well.
Hmm. But I think this possibly needs more work. See, it's an excellent novel idea, but I think you use the word pull, but I don't see how you can create pull by just tying up. Those guys will just swallow you up. So I think you need to think of something else. The idea is good, but your go-to market details are sketchy. Okay, and in my experience, and this is my perspective, that needs some more work. Huh? So, Anish, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Nothing from my side, Ravinder and the team. Thank you for
Thank you,
this.
sir.
Okay, thank you. But
Thank
nevertheless,
you.
I think it's one of the better ideas I've heard.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's a
Yes,
it's a
yes.
it's a very good idea,
but
but
you need to do some more work. It's not going to be that easy. Ideation is the easy part. I think yeah, this needs more work.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. We'll keep that in mind. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you for your inputs. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Team Dude Kula T25. That was, I must say, a very interesting presentation. I would like to give 1 minute to the jury members to rate the teams individually. We now have a quick trivia for all the members in the audience. Good luck with it. Let's see who can solve. Great job, everyone. All the best to the winners. Now let's moving on to the next team. Uh, I'd like to call upon the team Agile Alchemists from MDI Gurgaon to present their idea.
Greetings from the team Agile Alchemists from MDI Gurgaon. Today, we present our product Alpha Shore, which is not just a disruptive force in the market, it's a catalyst for change. A change in societal attitudes in how we approach male fertility, a topic that is often whispered about, laden with stigma, and obstructs open conversation. Globally and in India, around 20% of the males struggle with fertility related issues. And to add to the emotional upheaval, the fertility test kits available do not give comprehensive insights about their fertility. So, for example, most solutions just indicate whether or not a person has sperm concentration above or beyond a certain level. But how much below that level or how much above that level? Whether it is a case of zoospermia, the awareness is simply absent. And the clinical tests involve going to clinics, which can be often traumatizing given the stigma attached.
To tap on this opportunity, we present AlphaSure, which is a solution that gives assessments on sperm count, sperm motility, and morphology by leveraging the AI-driven video processing algorithm and generating personalized insights. Also, the report generated can be shared to doctor at ease. Thus, the person gets complete control, privacy, accurate results, and personalized insights through a convenient process as reflected in the slide.
From a business opportunity, the global male fertility testing business is projected to be a rupees 34,000 crore market. With a base in India, it is estimated to be a rupees 12,600 crores annually. Also, we did the unit economics and based on competitive landscape analysis, where very few pharma companies exist as of date. We propose a selling price of rupees 1799 as a one-time cost and rupees 249 for our recurrent test kits.
Our approach involves more than just selling a product. It's about creating awareness and fostering a sense of wellness. We aim to leverage omni-channel selling, reaching people where they are, and positioning our product not just as a test, but as an awareness and wellness tracker alternative. By doing so, we not only capture a market, but contribute to a social shift, a change in the way we perceive and discuss male fertility. In the end, we render this business proposal for your kind consideration, a product that assures men and secures smiles. Thank you.
Good morning, respected jury. We all will agree that this is a really pressing issue, especially more pressing in the Asia Pacific region. Globally and in India, around 20% of the men are struggling with fertility related challenges. Moreover, there are significantly less knowledge as compared to women, which adds to the problem.
In our primary research, we found 72% men were anxious about their sexual health and 85% of them were not comfortable discussing it. The target audience can be segmented into two age brackets of early 20s and late 40s, both having pressing reasons to use AlphaSure. Cumulatively, we are looking at a market of rupees 12,600 crores with average CLTV of rupees 4,000. Globally, HelloTech, MES Global are some of the competitors, but their availability remains limited. Moreover, AlphaSure is functionally superior to any existing market offering.
And this superiority comes from four major parameters. First, comprehensive and easy to read. The color coded strip leverages semiotics for better understanding among users. Also, the artificial intelligence driven analysis on sperm morphology and motility gives a holistic picture to the users. Second, compatibility. The existing market offerings are not compatible with different computing devices. Third, multiple revenue streams. We aim to create an ecosystem around AlphaSure through collaborating with fitness firms by giving them a platform for advertisements. This generates an additional income for AlphaSure. Fourth, competitive pricing. This technologically superior AlphaSure will be priced one third to its competitors.
While we have the conviction in AlphaSure, we understand that getting market right is equally imperative. So, we have divided our market entry plan into two stages. The first phase focuses on creating awareness and customer education. The target audience will be urban adult men and families. They're educated, health conscious, and will be early adopters of AlphaSure. To develop visibility, trust, and enhance education, we plan to reach out to doctors and collaborate with colleges and social media influencers like Dr. Cuterus. Riding on the wave of estimated 9% CAGR growth, we aim to expand into Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities in the next phase. For rural markets, we aim to leverage a shared resources model. By collaborating with local hospitals and educating through panchayats, we can educate people and focus on repeat use. Across two phases, we estimate rupees 12,600 crore revenue potential. Throughout the journey, we focus on an omni-channel strategy for promotion and sales. With this, we rest our presentation. We invite you to our mission of assuring health and securing smiles. Thank you, jury, for your valuable time.
Well, thank you. I think it's an interesting pitch. It's an interesting idea also. But tell me, given the everybody would like it, as you said, behind the curtain, this is a sensitive issue. So, have you done and your marketing plan and other things? Uh, have you done any kind of test marketing, sampling? Have you spoken to people, or is it just based on secondary research? This is the opportunity. This is how we're going to go it. But you know,
So,
the reality would be totally different. Sorry, Anish, please. You were saying
Uh,
something?
No. I think one of the members was saying something. Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, please carry on. Please carry on.
so shall I answer?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, sir, as part of initial testing the idea and the concept, what we had done was we reached out to pharmacies to check out the options which are available, which were pretty limited. And then, when we tried to first do the survey, we realized that people were very hesitant to talk about this. And then we conducted individual interviews to maintain their privacy. And over there, we did have the realization that there are most of the men, let's say 72% of the respondents, were anxious about their health. So, regarding the need, yes, we have done it. Regarding the product, we are relying on the secondary researches because most of the test kits which are available are not compatible. So we have to design that product. So for that product as a concept, yes, we are very confident and it is already available. For the need, yes, we have done the primary research. For the second, for going forward, we'll have to first do the product design and then probably we'll be able to proceed with it. But as of now, yes, there are existing options, but with certain limitations, which we are covering through our product.
Okay, understood. But do keep in mind that there are three faces of man. Okay, there is this irrational man. There is this irrational thing. What we talk in these focus group discussions and these one-on-one and how we behave are entirely different. Okay, in our behavior, there is a context is very important. So, I would urge you to, before you launch the product, to focus on the context and scenarios which can make people behave irrationally or still not do it. So just keep that in mind. Just keep in mind that there is an irrational man in all of us. Okay, we might think that yes, maybe I should get my sperm count checked and so on and so forth, but in reality, I would still not go ahead and adopt this. Just do some exploration around that. Okay, over to you, Anish.
Definitely do that, sir.
Yeah, thanks. So, Joe, you said that you met some people in the private this thing, right? So, what is the kind of sample size that we are talking about? How many people you interviewed
So
typically?
we are talking about a sample of about 40 people, let's say, and they are varying across regions and in the age groups. So yeah, in terms of demographic, in terms of region and age, it is pretty diverse. The count stands around 40, 42 to
Yeah,
be
so
precise.
I think that's where. So I think there are two sides of this. I think, and Navinder kind of brought it out very clearly. The one side of it is the product itself, and that product could be high quality product, very nice, etc., which is fine. But the social acceptance and the way you would want to pitch it for people in terms of how they would respond to such an idea. When you go to panchayats, you did mention about it. Actually, I had made the point that how do you reach out to rural people, and even in the urban space, the acceptability of this is something that you need to focus on and ensure that you take it to the next level. Then this product makes a lot of sense in terms of the usage and the acceptability. I think that's just a small point and a thought leaving with all of you.
So thank you so much, sir. We'll definitely work on that. And thank you so much for showing faith in product. We have planned to, I mean, we propose to reach out through influencers like T.U.P, Dr. Cuterus. I think they should be able to help us. And then, uh, let's say, once it is adopted in the urban market, there is always a phenomena that it percolates to the other areas, other layers of the India. So thank you so much for the suggestions, sir. We'll definitely work on that.
You might like to flip it around. Okay. Rural, I don't think so you know enough about the rural market, and I've worked extensively in the rural market. It's a far bigger opportunity, and they are far more modern in their thinking. Most of the people have sons and daughters who are working in urban areas, so they are a significant influence on their parents. So you might like to flip it around, in fact. you know just turn
And
the
and in
conventional
the
wisdom on the head.
and the influencers are actually more focused there,
Yes.
Whether you will agree, because
Yes,
when you talk about
absolutely.
panchayats and when you talk about these things, these are influencers who have very high influence on the groups and the villages that we are talking about, right? So I think
Yeah, I would
a very
say the
interesting point
urban
brought out here.
dwellers are more prudish in their outlook. The rural folks are much more pragmatic. So you might like to flip it around. And that's why I'm saying, you probably need to get some more people from the rural areas in your team rather than, so maybe
And
some of
and
you are from a
more
rural background.
and more data also, more data in terms of
Yeah.
how the response is coming, because the irrational or an erratic behavior in this case could be needs to be handled where we know about a movie and also an actual person who has done some job in a in a different kind of a thing, but a similarly stigmatic thing, right? So I think
But
that's how it
nevertheless, a
is.
very interesting idea. Nevertheless,
Very,
an
very
interesting
nice.
idea.
Yeah.
So, but I think, you know, there's too much textbook stuff here and very little real world stuff here. Okay, that's what my this thing is. So, very good idea, but you need to challenge conventional wisdom. Maybe flip it around.
Definitely, sir. We'll work on that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, Team Agile Alchemists. That was, I must say, a very thoughtful idea and an insightful presentation. Moving on, we are now ready to for our next team. I'd like to call upon the team Pantheon from IIM Lucknow.
With the role of being temple of knowledge, school imparts wisdom in humans. Let us all recall our in-class experience during our school days. Did you continuously stare at the clock while waiting for the boring maths class to get over? Though the people who sit on school benches changes every year, but their pain points remain the same since decades. To get the right picture, we connected with 68 school students to understand their expectations, and here's what we found. 92% students found their classroom experience boring. 88% students reported feeling low to moderately enthusiastic about participating in classroom discussions. 91% students find the conventional classroom teaching mechanisms neither engaging nor effective. 86% students don't feel comfortable in asking questions in class, and at last, 100% of the students believe that the use of technology can enhance their classroom learning. So, to cover the big picture, here are some key issues with our current in-classroom experience. Number 1. Inconsistent learning efforts with prime focus on examination scores. Number 2. No motivation to perform well in class. Number 3. Declining student attention span. Number 4. Ineffective monitoring from teachers' end. With a zeal to transform the classroom experience for the budding future of our country, we present our solution, Pratham. Pratham is your one-stop solution to make the classroom learning experience lively, active, and insightful. Pratham offers end-to-end solution with key features such as AI-enabled centralized monitoring for teachers, in-class student performance visibility, gamified assessments, reward distribution, leaderboards, reward redeeming merchandise portal. Now, let us assume that there is a class of 25 students. All students will be provided with a tab which will be solely used for educational purpose and will have restricted features. The tabs will be connected wirelessly with Teacher's Master Tab. With AI live monitoring, teachers can assess the level of attention of each student with an attention score after every class. After completion of a topic, teachers can take gamified assessments such as fastest finger first to engage the class with consistent learning. For active class participation, teachers can award students with rewards points which they can redeem to buy accessories like badges, school bags, stationeries, etc. All the rankings will be available on our leaderboards on which student can check where do they stand. So what impact do we bring on the table? Number 1. Quantifying classroom learning experience. Number 2. Continuous learning with an engaging and tech-driven approach. Number 3. Invoking competitive spirits among students to perform better. Number 4. Effective measure of monitoring of students with artificial intelligence. Number 5. Building our brand equity with our goodies and merchandise. So, with Pratham, let's unlock full potential of our future leaders of India.
Good morning, esteemed jury. Uh, shall I start?
You can start the
Um,
pitch.
Good morning, esteemed jury. We are Team Pantheon from I am Lucknow. So there are a lot of edtech platforms in the country, but none of them are currently focusing on enhancing the classroom experience. With the vision of enhancing the classroom experience in mind, we did extensive research and got to know the pain points. These are decreasing attention span of students in classroom, boredom in classroom, poor class engagement, reluctance to ask question, ineffective monitoring from teachers end, inconsistent learning rate, no motivation to perform better, and no performance tracker for parents. Based on our research, and the pain points, we came up with five customer persona. Nana, who wants to know where does she stand at district levels, state and national level. Mohit, who's a sincere student but is shy in asking doubts in the class and also find it difficult to assess where he went wrong in the exams. Kabir, who finds classroom studies boring and doesn't have any motivation to study. Rita, a teacher, find it difficult to monitor each and every student in the class. Gaurav, a parent who wants to monitor his ward's performance every week.
So here's our proposed solution to all the identified needs. Pratham offers solutions like digitalized learning with real-time AI-based spatial monitoring, gamified assessment, anonymous query handling, reward point system, and reward redeeming portal, and leaderships as well. Pratham offers Pratham leaves no stone unturned in ensuring that a student feels engaged and connected to its temple of knowledge. Let's take a look at how Pratham works. Meet Ram, a class 7 private student studying in a private school, starting his day by opening his tablet and logging in with his credentials. All of the student devices are connected with teacher's master device with their live monitoring status as well. Now, Ram's friend started feeling sleepy. The facial expression is detected by the AI and will be notified on the teacher's master device. The teacher asks a question to which Ram answers correctly. The teacher rewards him with 20 reward points. Once the teacher finishes the topic, it's time for gamified assessment to check whether the students were able to understand the concept or not. Note that reward points for the best performer is given. After going back to home, Ram redeemed his reward portals for our branded stationaries and goodies from our portal. While while revising, Ram had a query which he directly raises it on the query platform later at night, and Ram's parents check his child's performance in school and his overall positions on leaderboard at class, school, district, and national level. So, talking about the major resources, we'll need restricted access tablets, IT infrastructure, and human resources with right tech skills. With major cost drivers being the with major. Can I just finish this?
Your time's up, but you can quickly wrap it up in the next 30 seconds for the
Sure.
jury to understand.
So the major cost drivers will be the solution development costs along with hardware procurement. We'll be having two major revenue streams, yearly service subscription for schools with different pricing options and sales done on the reward-based platform. How will we going to execute it? We'll be first having a private pilot run with one well-reputed school, and then we'll be heading on to government collaborations as well as parallel implementations across different schools as well. So with Pratham, we engage all our targeted stakeholders with the right blend of innovation and technology. So let's join hands and revolutionize the Indian education with Pratham. Thank you.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Classroom experience. Okay, and but classroom experience for a 7-year-old. What age are you talking about here?
Vasundhara, can I
India.
take this?
Sure.
So like I said, this is not just for a single age. We are starting with something which is we are starting with something with 7 to 8 class, but then we'll be having parallel implementation across all divisions. We are not targeting just 1 or 2 classes. We are looking for revolution.
And do you have any thoughts around your backend while it's an ideation? Do you have something which is already there in place, which looks at the facial expression of the children and then kind of convey it back to the teacher to determine? So, do you have an AI platform in place or software in place? So, what is it? Or is it just a thought at this point of time?
So likely we conducted some research to see whether some of this technology is already available or not. This sort of some similar technology is being used for road safety purposes as well. So like to check the awareness and the attention span of driver. The similar technology can be used here for students as well.
For children and adults, you think there is no differentiation? Children would typically, the attention span of a child would be much, much shorter as compared to an adult.
Yes, sir. We are. That's why we are continuously ensuring that the monitoring that we are doing here is stringent, and we need to ensure that the teacher who is supervising it can do it in a more effective manner. That's what our pain point is because the attention span is so less.
Okay, why not make the content more interesting? So, but anyway, I will leave it at that. I would thought that to make the classroom experience better, I would focus more on making the content interesting and then looking at it rather than, only it's post
Uh,
facto. It is reactive. The idea is if you had said that, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the content and we look at how the child is engaged with the content. If the content engagement is poor, then we're going to make some suggestions as to how we could gain the attention of the children. And it's an iterative process. Yes, then I would have understood that. But somehow either you did not consider this or forgot to mention it. I don't know which
can I
one was what. So
just
yes.
sir, actually, this is one of the part of our idea. So it's there. I mean, we will be focusing
Uh,
on
Happy
content
to
as
hear that.
well.
Happy to hear that. Okay, thank you. Anish, over to you.
So
I
just
think
one
so.
thing which I would like to add in. So just one thing which I would like to add in the part that you said about engagement. We are highly focused on that because this is something that we have also felt during our school time. So we have also focused on increasing the engagement in terms of having sort of gamified assessments here. So by using those gamified assessments, we are trying to invoke the competitive spirit of students. So when a student gets a badge of honor that he is the best performer, he can like flaunt among his classmates, like I am the best in academics. He can flaunt it to his cousins. This is something which is promoting positive education.
Hmm. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think the new system itself is looking towards and engaging the children, right? I think that's something which is intrinsic, which is there. The second part, which I think already Ravinder actually mentioned, is you know your need to focus on that area specifically. And the third part, which I thought is that which the chart which shows or the are we making it too complicated? I mean, like kind of the person is teaching something, suddenly you find a person yawning, and then you go to a gamified this thing. How does this work? Practically, what kind of thought have we given to this model to ensure that it actually hits the ground and it works well? And these are just thoughts. I'm sure it's also about a mindset change over a period of time, but that mindset change will require a lot of input and a focused approach to ensure that there is a lot of value that being added to this. Yeah. So I'll leave it at that and good. Thank you. Thank you both for your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Team Pantheon. I must say that is a very futuristic idea. Now let's allow our jury to a minute to complete scoring this team. And while they make their assessment, let us have some fun. We have another interesting trivia question about Reliance. All you need to do is try to guess the answer in the comment section. The first person to answer correctly gets an amazing TUP merchandise. Ready? Here we go. Abhishek, you've guessed it right. Please reach out to us on our social media handle or at support@unstop.com. Also, Prithvi from the previous quiz winner can also reach out to us in our social media handles or at support@unstop.com. Moving on, we are now ready for our next team. I'd like to call upon Team Helios from MDI Gurgaon to present your idea. All the best, team.
Do you know how many accidents takes place in a day, a month, or a year in India? Around 4,61,000 accidents took place in 2022, out of which 35% accidents were fatal. Also, 70% of the accidents occur due to overspeeding and 13% occur due to other behavioral factors. There's a pressing need to act within the golden hour and platinum minutes, as these accidents have a huge impact not just on the people involved in the accident, but also on the families of these people. As of now, there is no solution to work on the behavioral aspects of driver. The current governance system focuses on penalizing the rule offenders. Hence, there is an alarming need for affirmative action for the rule followers or good drivers to motivate them, work on their habits and behavior, and bring a sustainable change. To solve this problem, our team came up with the idea of Ensure Safe, an application which determines several driving factors to collect data for driving behavior, accidents, traffic congestion, potholes, to carry out technology-based policy and infrastructural changes. Ensure Safe being the first phase of IDAS, that is Intelligent Driver Assistance System, which focuses on vehicle speed, crash detection, vehicle and road health detection, and the emergency help module. The smartphone application senses speed and multiple axis acceleration to determine driver's rating and crash. In case of a crash, a response will be triggered to roadside assistance and emergency health services for dispatch of a response vehicle to aid within the golden hour. Further, the first responder near to the accident location will be alerted through the application to extend first aid and help in elimination of false alarm. The process will consist of sensing, detection, sharing, and dispatching stages. Apart from the social cost, the app supports a business case by integrating navigation with driver behavior rating for use-based and behavior-based insurance, boosting revenues. Monthly charges will be charged for features like crash detection and roadside assistance, while drivers will receive redeemable credits for good driving to encourage app usage. It is important to mention the role of technology in achieving the 4Ts, that is train, track, time, and target, which will be done through affirmative actions, identifying high offense zones for root cause analysis and enhancing safety measures. Quick accident detection and emergency response network will aid in timely assistance. The Ensure Safe Phase 1 features includes location and speed-based alerts, crash detection, emergency service connect, incentives as per driver behaviors. Screenshot shows speed alerts and emergency modules sharing location with services and SOS alerts to contact. To minimize false alarm, Ensure Safe customer care calls accident involved person 3 times. If there is no response and no false alarm reported by a nearby responder, help is dispatched. Phase 2 of Ensure Safe will employ a dedicated OBD system. It will utilize active and passive data for behavior, real-time streaming, and telematics analytics. Our solution focuses on social impact, business case, and sustainable change in the driving habits of people.
Good morning, everyone. We are Team Helios from MDI Gurgaon. In the past decade, India has witnessed unprecedented growth in road infrastructure, but we haven't been able to solve the growing number of fatalities due to road accidents. Imagine the quantum of disturbance created when more than 1.5 lakhs families are affected by road fatalities every year. It's time to challenge the conventional thinking. Currently, our focus is on punishing the defaulters rather than incentivizing positive driving behavior. We believe that to truly transform our society, we need a paradigm shift. Enter InsureSafe, our groundbreaking solution operating on asset-light model. InsureSafe gathers crucial data on driver behavior, accidents, traffic congestion, and potholes, laying the foundation for policy and infrastructure level enhancements. It also manages critical road emergencies, encourages safer driving practices, and elevates driver awareness through a smart insurance system. InsureSafe is poised to bring about a transformative societal change. Now, Virochan will talk about the product feature and expansion plans.
As we want to bring about a corrective action and change the driving behavior, when a driver exceeds the speed limit, he'll be given an alert. If a crash is detected, the location will be shared to the emergency responders and emergency contacts. If a good driving behavior is detected, a leaderboard is incorporated as well. We have divided into three phases. First, we'll target individual drivers with KPIs being number of downloads, active users, and driver improvements. Second phase will be an OBD integrated smartphone ecosystem with KPIs and revenue model that is focused on taxis, fleet operators, and insurance. In the last phase, we'll incorporate AI to improve predictive maintenance.
So, to understand the financials, we have taken different revenue drivers in terms of B2B and B2C. We will be targeting insurance companies, four wheelers, two wheelers, and truck drivers, where initially in the 3 years, we will be spending major chunks of money to acquire our customers and cater to marketing and acquisition costs. The conservative estimates of TAM, SAM, and SOM will help us to achieve the break even in the 4th year, as shown in the graph. The huge customer base established in the initial years will help in achieving substantial growth in terms of profits in the 5th and 6th years. The detailed financials are available towards the end of document. Further, let's discuss about the future plans in brief. Smartphone monitoring will set the base for dedicated OBD and camera-based monitoring of vehicle and driver. The data will be shared over cloud from where the InsureSafe application will fetch it for analysis and insight generation. This data will be used for various applications to promote road safety and decrease traffic congestion. With this, we conclude our presentation and now we are open for questions.
Thank you again. A very interesting and a novel idea, but I'm. This is a crowded space. Let's put it like that. Okay, and so this app of yours or this feature of yours, what level of autonomous driving? What level is it? One, two.
Okay.
What is it?
So, sir, to answer your question, when we talk about autonomous driving, in this particular smartphone app, as we are like in the prototyping stage, we are considering driving manually, and we are not including the like automated driving or like self-driving vehicles as of now. But in the future stages, like in the phase 3 of our program, we'll be accommodating those AI level changes, which will help us to cater to the needs of self-driving cars also.
No, no, I'm not talking. I am not. See, there are different stages. Okay, uh, most of the cars which are being sold in India are autonomous driving level one. What you're talking about is the other extreme. Okay, what I was saying was that there is driving assistance today. Today, you know when the vehicle goes beyond a particular speed, there is a beep which happens. There are automotive manufacturers. So in a way, what I'm saying is you're competing with the automotive manufacturers themselves. Okay. And many of these automotive manufacturers share the data with the insurance companies. Okay. The question is, if I were an insurance company, um, I would, challenge the efficacy of your data as opposed to what is being sent to the insurance company by the car OEM itself. So that was the question. So have you done given some thought around that as to how you would overcome that barrier?
Yes, sir, surely. Sir, now I understand your question. So, as we talk about the autonomous feature in cars, we talk about the onboard diagnostics which are available in the cars as of now. But if we look at the number of cars which are available in the Indian market, and if we look at the numbers in which the dedicated OBD system is provided for like detection, such as in the Tata LXI model, so that is not available in all of the cars, and there is a huge gap in terms of the features which will be available in the cars which are like there in the market from past 10 to 15 years and which are like sold in these days. So sir, we are trying to cater to the market which is having the cars like which are 5 to 7 years old, because they will not be investing a lot in dedicated OBD systems, like installation cost of that, and they will be like easier to adopt this kind of model which is like asset light and which can be available just through the smartphone application.
Okay, I understand, but it could be a short-term market for you because I think in the future, government is going to mandate that the car OEMs put all of those features in the car itself. Okay, so you might again like to keep that in mind, that it could be a short-term market and that you are competing with the car OEMs. And if the comment say 6 months from now or 1 year from now mandates that the car OEMs have to have this data and share that with the insurance company or the government or whatever, then
Okay.
you're dead in the water, right? As a business.
uh, Sir, I would just like to answer your question. So, for this, we are particularly trying to like create an integrated system, like the interaction between the dedicated OBD system and our smartphone application also. Because we are the first mover and we'll be having a lot of data going forward, and which will be having improving our reinforcement learning model, so that will help us to like better predict the accidents, better predict the overspeeding and other conditions which can be there on the road, and try to like help the maximum people in the minimum time possible. So sir, we believe that we are not selling a system which is standalone, but we are selling something which can be integrated with the OBD system, which is eventually going to come in the vehicles in the future, as even you told, like mandated by the government. So
Okay, be careful you're not caught in the middle. You'll be caught between the auto OEMs and the consumer. And being stuck in the middle of the value chain is never a good idea. Just keep that in
yes.
mind. Thank you. Over to you, Anish.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Ravinder. So, I think I have just a question on the behavioral side, right? You mentioned that there is a behavioral change which we intend to see in the. So one is do you have any data on this? Have you checked out? Because I think we are all on the roads, we all drive, and we know what are the conditions. And I'm not trying to say that we don't need to improve and take it to the next level. But what are those pockets where I mean, how would the acceptability of a behavioral change in a driver, and how would this initiative of yours or this tool would help? I think that's the thought. I'm not sure I'm looking for an answer, but I thought that is something which is very scarcely covered in your intent. This is typically a tracker which Ravinder already mentioned that it throws some data in, but how we use and how the driver chooses to use is something which is interesting. My car gives a beep at 80, but I still go on 110 when nothing can happen. So the behavioral part of it is something which probably could have been more focused. That's about it. Great job, and all the very best.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. We will surely try to accommodate your feedback in our work.
Okay. Thank you. Good
Thank
effort.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Team Helios. This was, I must say, an insightful presentation and a brilliant idea. Moving on, we are now ready for our final but not final team, which is Longani D25 from IIFT Delhi.
Hi everyone, we are a team from IFT. The problem we are trying to solve is this. This is the mismanagement of waste that happens in the country on a day-to-day basis. This is not stopping, this is growing. You can see this in your school, colleges, societies, everywhere. It is growing day by day with increasing population and increasing demand. So this is the problem we are trying to solve. Some are solutions next.
We are gonna disrupt the traditional and mundane waste management system using a three-phase solution: IoT, AI, and automation. Talking about the first phase, wherein the smart bins would be transferring the data to the IoT cloud. From that IoT cloud, we'll be analyzing where the critical waste is present. By critical waste, we include biohazards, e-waste, which are considered to be the utmost priority and utmost harmful for the environment. Now, the using that data will find the shortest route, and using that shortest route that would be configured in the driver's phone so that the waste is collected and then sent to the incineration plant accordingly.
So now coming to the second phase, when all the waste would get collected, we will use artificial intelligence and machine learning to train our models, which will help us to differentiate the wastage into different classification of waste, such as plastic, cloth, bio waste, electrical waste, glasses, etc., which will eventually help us to process the waste according to different categories.
Talking about the final phase, wherein all the waste is segregated, now will automate the process. The reason for automation is twofold. First, we need to increase the efficiency, and secondly, we need to prevent human intervention because there are waste like bio waste, e-waste, plastic, glasses which are harmful for human health. Now, since all these waste are segregated, we'll run it through the conveyor belt into the segregators and ensure that the recyclable waste is properly packaged and ready for distribution, and the non-recyclable waste is mitigated to avoid throwing back into the environment, thereby saving the environment and ensuring sustainability.
So now moving to the next part, that is key stakeholders. Our key stakeholders include A. Government, B. Retailers, C. Third-party collectors, D. Local households, E. The industries like electronic industries, bottling industry, ceramic industry, etc.
So coming towards the financial aspects of the business side, with the major sources of our revenue would be governments and different industries and retail outlets. First of all, we would be taking projects from the government, so that makes our first revenue stream. Secondly, we would be selling the recycled packaged products to different industries and retail outlets, making them the second revenue stream. Thank you.
How many of us love to have the typical tasty street food, the chaat, the chole kulche, or the golgappe? What happens after we have our favorite dishes? We dispose the plate and spoons, and more often than not, when the trash can is filled, we try to stuff in the garbage or throw it outside the bin. This causes a huge problem with managing and recycling the waste, and not only with vendors, we face this waste management issue with multiple other places. Good morning, everyone. We are the team from IFT Delhi are presenting EcoSati, a solution to the mountain of garbage, quite literally. But first, getting to the depth of the problem with some alarming facts. India's contribution is about 12% to the world's solid waste generation, and of which only 5% is recycled and 32% is left untreated. We try to understand the problem faced by two stratas. The problem is going to be depicted by Vishu, a student and a waste maker, and Yash, a municipal worker and a waste manager.
क्या भैया इतनी गंदगी है हर जगह, आप कूड़ा उठाने जल्दी क्यों नहीं आ सकते?
क्या करूं मैडम, इतने सारे पिकअप होते हैं और पता भी नहीं चलता कि कब कहां जाना है.
As we have seen, there is a gap between the timely collection and segregation of waste. To mitigate that, we have come up with EcoSati, an AI-driven smart waste collection, segregation, and distribution system. The entire value chain is divided into three phases.
So discussing about our first phase, there would be an IoT sensor on the bins which will send real-time data to drivers indicating where to collect the trash from. This will be done taking into the account location of nearest driver and optimizing the route for collection. To add to that, the sensor will also be able to detect fires and send alerts to the nearest fire station, and hence will help us to prevent fire.
Moving on to the next phase, the drivers will collect the trash and drop it to the waste house, where our AI-driven robots will segregate the waste into categories like recyclable and biodegradable. And the last and final step, once the waste is segregated, we'll label and tag different recyclable goods. We'll have the data about the same to send our clients. And finally, we'll transport our waste on the basis of their order. Moving on to our growth strategies, we intend to start with 10 tier 2 cities in the first year and scale it to the 70 cities in the next 3 years. Through EcoSati, we are not only managing waste but also creating a positive impact on environment by a 26% drop in vehicles use, which in turn will also drop distance covered and traffic time by 30%.
Now, coming on to the financials part, our revenue is majorly coming from three streams. First is from the government sources, second is from the industry, and lastly from the retailer outlets. Our costs are getting majorly incurred from PPE and fixed costs like rent, software development, maintenance costs, etc. The revenue will keep on increasing as and when we onboard more and more cities, which will eventually use to fund our PPE. And in phase two, whatever costs we are incurring from the PPE, that would be recovered within the next 2 years. So within the next 4 year onwards, will be net profitable.
So through EcoSathi, we intend to segregate and manage waste drop by drop from the ocean of garbage. Thank you. We are open for questions now.
I think thank you. This is excellent. I think the topic and the theme is something which resonates with all of us. Okay, but I think there's some more thinking which needs to be done, and you also said that while you will have these bins which will have these sensors, and these sensors will then alert the nearest driver, and the nearest driver would take it to the the waste plant or wherever, and there again you will have AI based software which would segregate that waste. But somehow, when you mentioned about the financials, I don't think so. You included the cost of that facility, which segregates the waste and so on and so forth there. And the other thing which comes to my mind immediately is that picking up waste at peak traffic times, is it practical? Is it feasible? There is a reason why these things are done in the morning or in the night, because the traffic density is the lowest then. So I don't know whether you got your arms around that practical challenge which you would face. So that is one, and the second thing is I don't think so the capex expenses have been thought through. It's going to be a highly capital intensive business unless you can partner with some entities which are already have that waste segregation plants or something. I don't know. You guys have not mentioned it. So this is going to be a very capex heavy model. So what are your thoughts around that?
I
So,
can
sir,
take that question now. Sir, hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, indeed, it is a capex extensive model, but since we are doing incremental wise, so as and when we are onboarding more cities, our revenue generation is also quite increasing. And as like we mentioned, that since the revenue generation is increasing, that can be used to fund our capex in the near future as well as be self-sustaining. That's one thing. And second thing, whatever capex cost we are incurring in the first year onwards, that is getting uh, c- mitigated by the next 2 years. And talking about the first question, first point where you mentioned, sir, that the waste is collected generally onto the night and morning times. Agreed. But sir, what we have essentially done is we mentioned in the appendix that how we have done our optimized route. So what we have done is, sir, we have divided the city into 10 zones. I'll quickly touch upon that. We have divided the city into 10 zones, and we have done the simulation of about 10,000 times over the past 7 days, considering each and every traffic, considering all the possibilities of waste percentage in each and every bin. For example, 50% in one, 55% in second, 80% in fourth, and so on. And that's how we have mapped our optimized route based on whichever is the least cost and how many dustbin vehicles we would be required
and sir,
using the K-means cluster.
So adding on to that also, we talk with certain drivers that we come to our society and in our colleges also. The major problem that they were facing is in the night time as well. They are going to the certain places where dustbins are not yet full or they didn't need to. So our algorithm will optimize the data pathway in such a way that they have to go only that places that we have data that dustbins are already full and that they have to go. And in morning times are also there are certain drivers that they felt okay, we do start at early, but there are certain times that they are caught into traffic when the time reaches about 9 or 10. They're also facing traffic issues over there also. So our algorithm will help to help it to mitigate their problem, that problem also.
And sir, just one last thing regarding this, how we can further optimize our cost. What we had thought of is the reason why we picked tier two cities on the first place is two cities are quite so. For example, in between adjacent tier two cities, we'll make one plant. So let's say if we are using 10 tier two cities, covering 10 tier two cities, we'll be essentially making five plants instead of 10 plants. So between two adjacent cities, we'll be making one plant. That way our capex cost is getting essentially reduced to half. So for example, instead of making setting up 10 industries, we'll set up five
But
industries.
your operating costs go up.
Sir,
Your
initially
capex
it
Yeah,
cost
will.
and
comes down. Capex
Huh.
out of the
did
two
we and
is
did we see
still,
did we see that linkage also? Did we see that
yeah.
linkage about setting up the plants? I'm sorry to kind of get in, Ravinder, but I think
No,
this
no,
is the
absolutely fine.
point
Huh.
which was there. So I think it's all about. So I don't have a question, but the comment still continues that uh,
Hmm.
when we talk, this is an AI versus infrastructure, okay?
Yes,
And
sir.
where both these things are important, it's an excellent theme. But if you
Hmm.
only have an AI this thing and you don't have the infrastructure to kind of back it up, then it goes haywire. That's the comment, and that's what I think Ravinder is also trying to kind of talk about and kind of mention over and over again. I think that's something which has been bothering me for a long time. I thought I'll pitch it because uh, what you will make is fine, but how you will make is not something which is very clearly visible. I think that's the comment that I have. Ravinder, I'm sorry, but you may please continue.
No, 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 that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Thank you.
So, sir, can we quickly, in a minute, summarize how we are going to implement it?
30
Yeah,
seconds.
go for
Probably
it.
your time
Go
is
30
for it.
out
seconds.
anyways. So please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, sir. So, sir, we'll be installing the bins, and that would have the sensors. Along with that, once the optimum route is there and the waste is collected, we'll have a plans which will have the AI and the automation too. The plans we will be keeping it. The only thing is, between two adjacent tier two cities, we will be keeping a one plant. That way, we are reducing our cost by half. So instead of keeping 10 plants, we'll be keeping five plants between the adjacent cities, and in that infrastructure will be leveraging AI and automation technologies to basically handle the waste. Now, the only thing is that initially our capex would be high, but since our revenue is incrementally increasing, as and when we are onboarding more and more cities, that would be basically funded from that revenue source onwards. That was our line of thought during
Okay,
that
I think
time.
my closing thought is that this needs a lot more work. What
Okay,
you've done is a
Okay.
good
Thanks.
idea. Okay,
hmm.
it's been done at a very, very superficial level. Okay, if you really have to implement it, and in general, I'll make a comment that capex is still okay.
Hmm.
What matters is reducing your operating costs.
Okay.
Okay. And
Hmm.
if you're saying that you will locate that plant within two cities, then your OPEX
Hmm.
cost goes up.
Hmm.
So whereas a CAPEX is a one-time cost, the OPEX
Uh,
is a recurring cost. Okay, I don't think
uh,
so. These issues, as hard-nosed business people,
hmm.
you need to get into it. And
Okay.
you're also saying that, oh well, I'm going to make this investment, and my revenues are going to start doing it, and then it will become a virtuous cycle of growth because my revenues are taking care of my loans and other things. In reality, it doesn't happen like that. The synchronization of revenue and expenses is the most difficult thing. All of us who have worked in the industry for 30 years would tell you that. Okay. And so,
Yes.
but nevertheless, a great idea. But I think as a team, uh, I would urge you, and maybe, this is something you might like to do independently when you are out of this institution. You know, get into the details. The devil is in the detail. The devil, and then you've used a lot of buzzwords, which are the buzzwords which are being used today: IoT, AI, analytics. But what does it entail? you know what skill sets would you require? That's the level of detail which needs to be got into. But nevertheless, a very good idea. And it's a current theme, it's a recurring theme. If you can find an innovative idea around that, yeah, it's nation would benefit for sure. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks a
so
lot,
much, sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Longani D25, for your presentation, which was resonating as well as thought provoking. Now, kudos to all the participating teams. Let me tell you, all you guys were absolutely stunning. The variety of innovative ideas showcased in this round is truly remarkable. Today's contest has heightened the bar, which with a promise to make this journey even more intense in the coming days. As you know, the winners of today's elimination round will be stepping into the regional finale of TUP 9.0, where you will be battling against winners of other elimination rounds. Now, to quell the curiosity as to the winners and runners up for today's elimination round, the suspense will have to linger a little bit longer. Rest assured, the results of today's elimination round will be declared on our social media handles shortly. So keep those social media notifications active. As we conclude this round of competition, we would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to the jury for their insightful questions on each of the ideas presented today. We thank the audience and the teams for making this an interactive and exciting event with their futuristic ideas. All the best, everyone. You were amazing. With that, this is me, Nikita Agrawal, signing off for today. Keep following us on our social media handles and stay tuned for further updates. Stay abreast with all the exciting things going on our social media platforms. We shall see you very soon during the TUP 9.0 regional finale. Until then, take care and have a good day.